camera right in front of us.
How'd that happen? Oh, wait. Now we got to start the show. Now it's official.
A lot of times we practice, there's no camera in front of us.
There we go.
Here we go. Wait.
Oh, we better start again. What's happening here? Hey!
Welcome to another Sunday at Sea.
Welcome to Sunday at Sea, and we are Bradless. So we're going to need to ask a little bit of help. If you hear us sounding too quiet, too loud, send us a little text here, because then we'll know, turn it up, turn it down. You know, we don't have Brad running the dials and doing the stuff, so we could use your help.
No one's pushing the buttons, so we're it.
We're going to push your buttons. We're glad to see you. It's been a long week, and here we are again. It's always nice to. What do we start the week? Do we end the week with a Sunday? Whichever one it is, it's always good to get here.
I love it. Do people begin their week with a Sunday at Sea, or do they end their week with Sunday at Sea?
Yeah, right. It's kind of right in between. Yeah.
You get to call it any way you want.
That's right. And we're glad to see you all. So we're hoping it's sounding good. And you just let us know if there's something that you need us to tweak. We'll try to tweak it.
Okay, we need to.
What do we need to do? Do we need to turn the page? Let's see if I can just put this in the right place there. Oh, I think I didn't even put things in the right order. What was I, asleep at the wheel? Ah, okay. So we need to put things in a different. This is the one we want now. Yeah, we want that one. Oh, I love this one. This is so good. All right, we're going to get this underway here. Did I do it
So
right?
we want to give another shout out. I know we did it last week.
That's it.
A shout out to the Chilmark Community Church.
Yeah, because we had a good time with them.
A week ago this morning, we performed at the Menemsha waterfront. And many of you followed us and were very much aware of it. Blessing of the Fleet, and it was a church service by the sea, and sort of blessing of the vessels as they start their fishing season, their sailing season. And I know we did a shout out last week, but following, you know, when you throw a rock in the water, it creates wavelets. Well, the wavelets have been pouring in all week long. We got a lot of feedback, a lot of positive thank yous.
Lovely pictures and video, and it's so nice.
You know, and so we're just so fortunate to have that community, a waterfront community in our lives.
A lot of people came to that, and that was so wonderful to see.
Being a part of an island is really cool. It's really I mean, I know I'm saying something to you that you all know, because that's why you're here. Sunday at Sea is about being coastal and being on the waterfront.
That's right.
But I have to say that Chilmark Community Church, boy, Menemsha waterfront, what a treat. You need me to adjust anything?
I'm just gonna move you a little bit. I hope that's not gonna. There you go. That's
you
good. I think that's good. Yeah.
So I'm thinking, just for the Hawaii, where the whaling industry was amazing in the 1800s.
Yeah.
So this is rolling down to old Maui, an old sea shanty. Once more we sail with a northerly gale, abounding over the main, and soon the hills of the tropical clime will be in view again. 6 sluggish months have passed away since from your shore sailed we. I now bound from the Arctic ground, rolling down to old Maui, rolling down to old Maui. Once more we sail with a northerly gale, rolling down to old Maui. Once more we sail with a favoring gale to our distant island home. Our mainmast is sprung and our whaling's almost done. Still we plow the ocean's foam. Our mainmast is blown away. What care we for that sound? Our living is after rolling down to old Maui, rolling down to old Maui. Our sons were carried away, rolling down to old Maui. Next verse.
Okay, sure. Oh, welcome the seas and the fragrant breeze, laden with odors rare, and the pretty maids in those sunny glades who are gentle, kind, and fair. And pretty eyes even now look out, hoping someday to see. Yeah, something like that. Our snow white sails before the guest, rolling down to old Maui, rolling down to old Maui, rolling down to old Maui. Our snow white sails before the guest, rolling down to old Maui, rolling down to old Maui, rolling down to old Maui. Our snow white sails before the guest, rolling
Yay.
Yay! That's such a pretty song. I love that song.
That's a song that's so old, too. This is a song that's more than a century old. It's like 150 years old. Goes back to the days around the Civil War.
And it's still beautiful.
And it's still beautiful. It still works.
That's right. It's one of those ones that just lasts. Well, I think we got some hellos to say now. So let's say, oh, good. Thank you, Joanne. The sound is fine. Thank you so much. Joanne's looking out for us.
Oh, my gosh. Thank you.
Hi, Bill Roman. How are you? Nice.
Oh, my gosh. Bill Roman. I love him. He's a wonderful fellow. He and I used to be on the waterfront a lot.
Oh, that's awesome. Yay. And hey, Carol and John are here with us. And we got Claire's here too. Hey, Claire. Oh, it's so nice. It's wonderful to see her. Whoa, boy, what happened to that guy? Oh, it was retuned, right? That's right. That note sometimes wanders because of different songs needed to be different ways, right? Well, we took a trip yesterday. We didn't go to Old Maui. That would have been nice, but that would have not been a day trip. But we took a day trip yesterday.
We were on a boat yesterday.
We went on the ferry.
We were on the ferry boat.
That's right. We did, and we went to the mainland.
It was a great. We were right there up on deck.
That's right. That's right.
Looking out across Nantucket Sound.
Oh, it was an idyllic
Looking towards
day.
West Chop. Looking down Vineyard Sound towards Cuddy Hunk.
It was so beautiful.
You get on a ferry boat like that, you're like 30 feet above the water line, right? I don't know. It's like
That's
at least.
right. And we saw another ferry boat coming by us too. And lots of boats out. There were fishermen. There were pleasure boats. It was a busy day out there. And we were going on a little trip up to Andover, Massachusetts, to go see my son play in a really fine bell choir. Boy, was that a treat! Oh wait, I think I gotta do this.
There are people who know how to play these things.
Yes, and they don't play it like that.
Anyway.
Oh, it was really fun. Handbells were very, very fun. Takes a lot of coordination, a lot of teamwork. Talk about like.
Has anyone out there ever been to a bell choir performance? And wherever you are, please say yes, because
it's as much
it's a very
teamwork as sailing a ship, right?
Truly special event.
Yeah.
I mean, you go to YouTube videos and watch them left and right, but to be there and have the sound wrap itself around you.
They're called the Back Bay Ringers, and they have a 7-octave bells group. So some of them are like, almost as big as this couch.
We got a picture of Molly ringing one of those big things.
That was really fun. It was like vibrating, and it was really big. The biggest ones, they have to make them out of aluminum, or you just wouldn't be able to lift them at all. But that was fun. And then they have little teeny ones you can hardly see.
And we think it's relevant to Sunday at Sea because we're talking bells.
We're talking. Oh, did I hear something?
We love to celebrate people who do live music.
That's right. And we also, this was a segue too, right? Because we were on Cape Cod ever so briefly.
That's right.
I think we have a song about that. Oh yeah.
Cape Cod girls, they don't use no combs.
All the way.
They comb their hair with codfish bones.
Round the way for Australia.
So it's even up
my bully boys. All the way.
Leave it up and don't you make a noise.
Round the way for Australia.
Well now, Cape Cod boys, they don't use no sleds.
All the way home.
They slide down the dunes on codfish heads.
Bound the way for Australia.
So let's heave it up, my bully boys.
All the way.
Leave it up and don't you make a noise.
Bound the way for Australia.
I hope you're feeling salty.
Oh, I'm feeling very salty. I'm just like a salt lick.
Cape Cod doctors, they don't use no pills.
All the way.
They feed their patients on codfish gills.
Bound the way for Australia.
So let's heave it up, my bully boys.
All the way.
Heave it up and don't you make a noise.
Bound the way
Cape Cod cats that have no tails.
All the way, all the way.
They lost them to those southwestern gales.
Bound away from Australia.
So it's evening up, my bully boys.
All the way.
Eat it up and don't you make a noise.
Bound away for Australia.
Now, if you've ever heard this song, if you're hearing this song for the first time, you already know the last verse. Because it's the first verse.
Isn't that easy?
Well, now, Cape Cod girls, they don't use no comb.
All the way.
They comb their hair with
Codfish bones. Bound away for Australia.
so let's heave it up, my bully
boys. All the way.
Heave it up and don't you make a noise.
Bound away for Australia. Bound away for Australia. Australia.
That's your own sound.
So, just asking a question here. So that Cape Cod Girls would actually be like a song that you would sing when you were working on the boat, because it's saying heave it up, like lift up, pull those ropes hard because you're trying
That's
to lift
right.
up something, right?
That's right.
What are you lifting up in that song? Heave
So-
it up and don't you make a noise. Heave it up. Heaving what up?
That song goes back to the days of the Civil War. I think I've said this many times to you all. I hope I'm not repeating it too many times for those who watch the show religiously. But that song goes all the way back to before the Civil War. And you hear the reference to South Australia.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason for that is because back in the day, you know, the 49ers, the 1849ers, when they discovered gold in California. Previous to the discovery of gold in California, there was a discovery of gold in South Australia. And even without internet, without telephones, without post offices, the word got around the world that there was gold in South Australia.
So they gotta go.
And it hit all the coastal communities hard. And a lot of people from Cape Cod left. They went to South Australia to go.
And they heaved it up so they could get there, right? That's how we worked that back in. I knew we'd get around to
Nothing
it.
like a historian, you know. We need somebody to lighten the load of when I speak in history. We need somebody who needs to lighten it up
I'm just
a bit.
cutting to the chase.
Because it's like Mark's getting too deep now. We need Molly to lighten it. And then please comment. I'd love to comment. Love you all comment with.
Oh, the boat just commented.
Did you just hear that? I hope you heard it because we think these mics are pretty good. Did you just hear the
I hope
ferry
you
boat?
heard that ferry boat.
Ferry
It was
boat wants to
weighing
speak.
in.
The ferry boat wants to speak on the
That's
show.
Right. That's right.
So this song traveled the world,
It did.
and Cape Cod back then had cod all around it. There was
And
cod everywhere. Hard to
Speaking of
believe.
cod, we got another song about cod and other fish too.
That's right.
Right? We got another song.
We got another one. So
Right.
that song has a story. Anyway,
They all have stories. That's what's so cool.
and then this song has stories too.
That's right. Oh, and this one's got a whole bunch of cool, not just about fish, but we can talk about all the boat terms it's got on there too. It's very salty. Very, very salty.
Come, all young sailor, and listen to me. I'll sing you a song of the fish in the sea. Blowing winds westerly, westerly blow. We're bound to the southern, so steady she goes. Well, first comes the whale, the biggest of all. He went up aloft and let all the sails fall. Blowing winds westerly, westerly his tail, he flips and he flops and says, time to make sail. Blowing winds westerly, westerly blow. We're bound to the suburbs, so steady she goes. Well, up comes the mackerel with his striped back. He stands up on deck and says, my name is Jack.
Hey, Jack.
Blowing winds westerly, westerly blow. We're bound to the suburbs, so steady she goes. Well, next comes the flatfish, and we call him Skate. If you'll be the captain, why, I'll be the mate. Blowing winds westerly, westerly blow. We're bound to the suburbs, so steady she goes. Well, up comes the codfish with his chucklehead. He stands on the chains, heaving the lead. Blowing winds westerly, westerly blow. We're bound to the suburbs, so steady she goes. Well, next comes the flounder. He's fresh from the ground, saying, mind your mind, chucklehead, mind how you sound. Blowing winds westerly, westerly blow. We're bound to the suburbs, so steady she goes. Well, next comes the swordfish. He's the king of the sea. We're coming about, boys, so heartily. Blowing winds westerly, westerly blow. We're bound to the suburbs, so steady she goes. One more verse. Well, up comes the fisherman. He's stalwart and grim.
Grumpy.
Yeah. He dips his big net in, scoops them all in.
No, he's not.
Blowing winds westerly, westerly blow. We're bound to the suburbs, so steady she goes. Blowing winds westerly, westerly blow. We're bound to the suburbs, so steady she goes.
So I have a confession to make. When I first was hearing this song and not seeing actually the words, where it says, we're coming about, boy, so heartily, I thought it was so Heartily. You know, we're just like coming around and so heartily. What did I know? So hard Ali, going to the lee side. Now I get it. Cause, you know,
Now we get it.
now I'm
said-
getting it.
Yeah, there you
Now I'm
go.
getting
And then
it. There's
and-
other stuff though.
And then there's the codfish. He's a codfish with his chuckle head. You know, you look at the head of a cod, it's always called, they call it the chuckle head. And in his line, he's out on the chains, heaving the lead. Well, all these ships that these fishermen are on are like schooners, sailing schooners, sails. And there's a chains that run between the ship and the bowsprit.
What's the bowsprit? You got to say what
The
the bowsprit
bowsprit is where that stick sticks out in front of the vessel that
okay.
holds all those topsails. Excuse me, all those jibs and whatever.
Okay.
So you've got him now. He's out on the chains,
So he's way out there.
heaving the lead, and heaving the lead is a term to describe a device that was used for establishing the depth of the water. And what it was a piece of string with a piece of lead on the end of it. So he heaves it out there and lets it fall to the bottom, and then he pulls it up. It recovers, and he establishes the depth of the water, because you had no radar back then. Right?
So you want to find the bottom if you're
And
looking for flat
And the
fish
lead is
codfish.
cool. The lead, because at the bottom of the lead is a piece of like this big. There's a piece of oil stuck inside of it, and you throw it, and that lead would hit the bottom and capture the sand that's on the bottom. So when he brought the lead up, he would not only be able to establish the depth of the water based on how long the string was when it went to the top, how long the line was, but he'd be able to look at the lead and look at the color of the sand and know, based on that, where the heck he was.
Oh,
This
wow.
is without GPS. This is without radar. And just by having an understanding of the contours of the bottom, and the material of the bottom, because there are some parts of the water south of Martha's Vineyard, as there are anywhere, that is all sandy bottom, and some of it is clay bottom, and and you establish an understanding of where the fish are based on your understanding of what's on the bottom.
That's cool.
Is that fun to share with you all? Please comment. I want your input on this, because
I love that.
we digress a little. We do music, we tell stories, but we can also
It's good to know what we're singing about too, right? It might help.
we can get pretty deep.
I think that's fun. I like that.
All right, I just want to talk a little bit about herring, since we're talking about fish, and I just want to share with you. You know, I've been for years, and certainly in this time of year, in the spring, I talk about river herring.
It's their season to come back.
And the troubles of herring and trying to bring it back. And I have that song which I sing all the time. Well, I'm not singing it tonight because I think I've sung it so much in the last month. But I just want to share with you that the value of herring, river herring, is important. Important enough that one of the newspapers on Martha's Vineyard, the Martha's Vineyard Times,
Let's see if I can bring it up closer.
Bring it up to the, just look at the headline.
Let's see if we can get that closer. There we go.
You see that all?
Herring runs depleted across the island.
You can read this article, or at least a part of it, by going to MV Times, MVTIMES.com. And this is the current issue of the MV Times, and it portrays the story about herring and the trouble that they're having in our waters. And it's a serious issue, serious enough to be a front page story on a local newspaper. Serious enough, and there are other publications that are writing about it as well. And I invite you to Google river herring if you want to learn more about it. But river herring swim in the waters from Newfoundland all the way down to northern Florida, all along the coast, east coast. And they're an important fish.
That's right.
And I know I've told this story over and over again, but I invite you to go take a look at that article and be aware of it. I also just want to share a story with you that is arising out of, let me see if I I want to at least make sure I get a few of my facts right. The Center for Coastal Studies out of Provincetown just recently did a release and announced that their ongoing efforts to recover discarded, abandoned, lost, ghost lobster pots. Now, we all know the story about lobster pots, you know, that the lower line, and we oftentimes talk about it, but they get to be a nuisance. You know, if the line breaks, if somehow the fisherman gets disconnected from the lobster pot, it accumulates on the bottom.
And the lines can still ensnare.
And they call them
creatures.
Ghost netting, which is that these lobster pots, even though they are no longer connected to the surface, no longer retrievable, they still continue to catch fish, still continue to catch lobsters. And that's a serious issue.
Because then they get stuck in there, and they're just stuck in
They
there.
continue, and years ago, in the days of Donald Poole, lobster pots were made out of wood, made out of white oak, and that wood would eventually deteriorate, so that if you lost a lobster pot over a span of months and even years, it would fall apart. Well, the problem with lobster gear today is it's steel, these metal steel things that are coated with plastic or rubber or whatever. So they essentially, I won't say they live forever, but the pots go on for years. And that's a huge issue that you can't see, you can't monitor, you can't know. But what needs to be said about the Center of Coastal Studies and other nonprofit organizations, and please, if you're paying attention to this show tonight, you want to jump in and add some more information, please go ahead. But It's a huge issue, and in the waters of Cape Cod, the waters around Provincetown, there have been efforts, funded efforts, people with money to help pay for the recovery of these lost gear.
That's great.
I think, it's so easy to imagine that once it's out of sight, it's forgotten. But in the case of the ocean bottom, these things continue to accumulate. And the message that I'm sharing with you today is that there's an underway grant, money being thrown around to harvest these lobster pots, gear, in the waters around Cuttyhunk. And Cuttyhunk is Buzzards Bay, and it's essential that we do this, clean up the bottom. And it's being done, and it's wonderful, and we want to honor it and celebrate it here on this show. And if you have an environmental story that you think we should be paying attention to, please share it with us, because there's nothing passive about coastal living. You don't just sit and look at the water and that's it. There's more to it.
A wonderful recent beach cleanup day that's organized by a Vineyard conservation organization, and people go out to all the beaches here and they collect stuff, which isn't just so that people going to the beach can have a lovely time, and it's also to prevent the stuff from washing back into the sea and ensnaring animals and stuff. So it's a really important thing that they do, and it's really good.
Many of you I know follow Instagram and there's so many environmentally sensitive photographic essays, posts, videos of people taking care of the waters. And on Nantucket beach cleanup, Nantucket had some stuff on Instagram or whatever. And if you're a lover of whales like Molly and I are, you're incredibly aware of what is it? California, the Bay of California.
Baja Peninsula.
Baja Peninsula.
Yeah.
It's an incredibly amazing place for whale watching.
That's been a successful conservation
hugely successful there. And you could watch these programs where anybody with a video camera is taking pictures of people putting your hand on the, what do you call it, the bow? The bow on the head of the whale.
The head of the whales.
And the whales love it. They love it. They come up to these dinghies and they come up in a very sweet way. And there's so many Instagram. I mean, Molly and I have loved whale stories, and so we're getting I usually say every 3 days.
And then we see a billion of them.
Yeah, you come in. You start watching them, and then Instagram gets smart and sends you all of them. And they're so pretty. These cute little kids with their life jackets on, putting their hands on a barnacle-infested covered gray whale.
Sweet.
Which brings me to the song we're going to do, which is called "The Whaler's Tale."
This is a good tale.
And it refers back to the time in the 1800s when we were killing whales.
That's not the good part of this tale.
That's not a good part of the tale. The good part of the tale is this is a story. It's a fiction story, but it's based on a true story. It's a fiction story about whales getting revenge.
We like that part.
Taking down the whaleboat. Taking down the whale.
Yeah.
And the crew. And it's a sad story for the crewmen, but you get a cheer on the whales. But anyhow,
that's right.
The reason why I'm sharing this is because, for reasons that I cannot explain, I recorded this song many years ago, but this song is it's one of the most popular songs that gets on my whaling songs that gets heard.
Oh. The boat agrees.
There's the boat agrees. And it was a song written by Stan Grayson, who's long gone. But he was a cowboy folk singer in the San Diego area. And Stan Grayson wrote a lot of folk songs.
And that would have been right nearby where
He
all this
long
was
gone,
happening.
long gone, and he wrote this song, and I recorded it, and it's just a great song. But listen to the story; it's awful. It's about a guy being on a whaling cruise, and he decides that whales are smart, and they shouldn't be killed. Remember what note I start on.
I can't help you. I'm just listening to the noodling.
Here we go. I saw a sign aboard a whaling ship. I made my mark, it's true. And I'll serve out the span of time as I said that I would do. But I'll not man your boats again, though you toss me in the sea. For I tell you, sir, them fish can think as well as you or me. Just yesterday the lookout's call had bent us to our road. I took my place like all the rest, I'm not for what I do. Now 13 men's been drowned, no more of them we'll see. Well, I take an oath, them fish can think as well as you or me. We pulled our boats abreast the pod, the steerman took his stand. He had no time to take his hook when the oar flew from my hand. Just then a great fluke, it smashed our boat. Ah, the whale I didn't see. I believe them fish can think as well as you or me. For them whales destroyed our boats, they rammed them one by one. They stove them all with head and fluke, and after they were done, we few poor souls left half alive were clinging to debris. Well, I'd stake my life and whale can think as well as you or me. The way them whales they went for us, it seemed as though it was planned. For each one had his target boat, they played us man for man. Just knowing that they can think so hard. Well, I swear to God, the fish can think as well as you or me. Now John is blind, Jim's lost an eye, and Cale looks down below. My leg will heal, but other men no more aloft will go. So I'll not man your boats again, though you drown me in the sea. For I tell you, sir, them fish can think as well as you or me. And that's a powerful song. And to say, we were awful at killing whales in that area because the whalemen went there because all the mothers were nursing their young and they were harvesting them. So anyhow, thank you, Stan Grayson, for writing that song, because it's an awful story, and it's a true, that story is about the whales get revenge. And
So-
today we regard those whales.
We have a comment. I got to read you a comment.
Oh
This
my
is
God.
hot off the press. Dawn and Eric say, Stan Grayson? The Stan Grayson I know is alive and well. So are there two Stan Graysons?
Yeah, that's no, this is a different one. This-
Oh, okay.
Eric, the Stan Grayson you're thinking of is the guy who writes books about catboats. He wrote books about hair shafts. He wrote all this. This is a different one. This guy is a
Glad
San
we cleared that
Diego.
up.
San
Glad we
Diego.
cleared that up. And we wish well to the Stan Grayson who is still with us.
That's right. We love him. We love him, and I know him too. We have actually shared stories, he and I.
Cool.
And I've written about him, and I reviewed his books, and he's just a sweetheart of a waterfront fellow. But this is a guy on the West Coast who wrote this song.
And now we have one more request from Carol. Carol says, "Happy song now, please." Well, we have one more that's a little bit of a sweet, touching one, and then we're gonna get a totally happy one. But this is just sweet and touching. This one, we all know this one. Let's see, guitar, harmonica. Oh, I think we're gonna have a little fiddle for this one too. Little fiddle. Oh my goodness! Wait, we're getting dings on the phone here. You might be able to hear them because grandson has just had a piano recital. Isn't that exciting? So we're getting updates. We'll have to respond to that after the show. But how fun is that? Isn't that cool? Hot off the press. All right, so we've been talking about all the boats on the sea and on the water and all the guys out there doing a lot of hard work. Now we're going to tell a tale about, well, what's that lady at home thinking? What's she thinking? And this one, Leaving of Liverpool.
Yeah, I apologize. That
This is a
Stan
sweet
Grayson
one.
it's a sad song.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
And you almost had it. You got to go up a little bit more with it. There you go.
But then the E sounds awful.
It has to go up a little bit more. There you go. There you go. Yeah.
Anyway. So we're getting close to sunset.
Yeah.
So my favorite part of this song is the last verse of the song referring to a sun setting
Yeah.
in the harbor.
I love it. It's beautiful.
But anyhow, what's even more exciting is hearing Molly play her fiddle with this tune.
Let's try it. Let's see how it goes.
Farewell to you, my own true love. I'm going far away. I'm bound for California, and I know that I'll return someday. So farewell to you, my own true love. When I return united with thee, it's not for leaving of her that reads my mind, but my love when I think of you. Well, I'm shipping out on the Yankee whaling ship, and Davy Crockett is her name. Burgess is my captain of her, and I've heard that she's a floating hell. So farewell to you, my own That's wonderful.
Yay. Oh, it's a sweet song. It's so sweet. I love it.
It's another old song.
That's another sweet one. Yeah. All right. Well, now we're gonna sing one that's gonna get you asking a lot of questions too. Because boy, does this one throw around a lot of nautical terms, a lot of boat lingo. So we might have to go over this one a little bit, but for right now, we wanted to teach you just the chorus of it, because you could sing along at home if you catch the chorus. It comes around a whole lot of times here. So the chorus goes, you Tom and Dick and Joe and Jack, which was just a way of saying, hey, all you guys.
We're all working together.
That's right. You Tom and Dick and Joe and Jack, stand by to get your anchor. Here, boy, lay aft to the mizzen gaff and loose away the spanker. Now, the spanker is a name of this little sail on a ship that has a whole bunch of them.
On the stern of a ship.
That's right. So you have to lay aft. Go back there to the mizzen gaff.
And I'm going to visualize the ship is ready to leave harbor. And they're ready to raise the anchor with the capstan. And so all the boys are standing around the capstan ready to start pushing. And
They
if you
gotta
don't
do
know
it
what a
together.
capstan is, Google it. Google capstan. You get a lot of pictures of this big wheel that's big turning thing, and you use
It's
that
gonna
to
lift up the anchor, right?
raise the anchor.
Raise the anchor. And then I bet you that's heavy. And I bet you they got to do that all
And they got to
with-
coordinate their effort
coordinated.
together, and they've got to usually have a sea shanty to help them stick to the rhythm. So there is some level of rhythm to this tune that we do.
Uh-huh. Oh, I love this one. It's fun. Oh, I get to play this little guy.
Here.
Ready?
We'll do instrumental first.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Wait, we better start together. Whoa. 1, 2. You got it? Okay. Ready, go.
Around me, lads, get underway. Right, welcome home, so morning. Up on deck, all hands obey. We're homeward bound this morning.
You Tom, Dick, and Joe, and Jack stand by to get your anchor. Here, boy, lay off to the mizzen gaff and loose away the spanker.
Let's walk him round. We're
homeward
homeward bound.
Each moment brings us nearer. So heave and haul, make parties all for friends at home that's dear. You Tom, Dick, and Joe, and Jack stand by to get your anchor. Here, boy, lay off to the mizzen gaff and loose away the spanker. Heave, heave, my souls, and roar ahead. The breeze is gently blowing. And while the morn is tinged with red, we're off with sheets a flowing. You Tom, Dick, and Joe, and Jack stand by to get your anchor. Here, boy, lay off to the mizzen gaff and loose away the spanker. Homeward bound, a magic word, how sweet the heart's emotion. So memory strikes the magic chord, afar upon the ocean. You Tom, Dick, and Joe, and Jack stand by to get your anchor. Here, boy, lay off to the mizzen gaff and loose away the spanker. That's a fun one. Isn't that a fun one? That's
Isn't
a
that a fun
happy
song?
one.
Will you tell a story about how we got that song?
Yeah,
That's
well, we
a
looked
great
in a
story
book.
of how we got this song.
Well, we were just looking
We
around
were
in a
going.
book.
One cold winter in January. One weekend.
That's
We
right.
spent the weekend looking at old tunes
That's right.
that were collected by Gail Huntington,
That's right.
who was a
Local guy that we owe a
folklore
lot
guy who
to.
collected sea shanties.
That's right. That's
And we
right.
dug this one up.
And we're
And
so
Molly
glad.
loved it, and it had like 20
25, 30 odd verses.
verses to it.
So we had to do a little
So we knew
chopping.
we weren't going to be able to get away with it if we did them all.
Yeah, it would take up the whole show.
So we narrowed it down to tell the story
Tell a story. Yeah.
about going homeward bound.
All right. And we love the verses. And while the morn is tinged with red.
Visualize that. And while the morn is tinged with red.
We're off with sheets a flowing.
Visualize it.
Isn't
Isn't that great? That's as good as Robert Frost. That's
really good.
And it's written by somebody we don't even know.
Who knows who wrote it?
And it was written maybe 200 years ago.
That's right. It's a good one. Well, we hate to be coming to that time, but we got to be doing our thank yous to all of our supporters. Thank you guys, our Patreon supporters, our Substack supporters, our all you different ways that you show up for us. That's supporting, and thank you so much, and we appreciate it so much. We got a shout out to Brad, who we missed today, but we're glad he's doing something fun for himself, and we're happy for him. And we hope all that works out well. And our thank you to the Fisher Poetry Archive, which he curates and puts together good stuff and podcasts and videos that you can find about performances of us and Fisher poets and all kinds of good stuff. We're thankful for the people for let's see who help us with the MVTB and the CCM out in Salem, Oregon, who put our shows on the TV and
we
podcasts and all that good stuff.
And there are people who donate, give us donations.
And that's sweet. It's very sweet. So we're very
through Patreon
thankful.
or whatever, and we already say that, but it's just this is an
right.
amazing community that we're in right here.
We're very very
And it's
grateful.
through your support.
That's right. And if you ever don't know what's going on with us, look us up at mollyandmark.com. You can find out the dates we're going to be live, places, or other stuff we might have that you're interested in finding out about. And or look us up on fuddyduddy-buddies.com.
That's right. That's a whole new chapter.
This whole other chapter.
New chapter for us.
Oh, we're just having fun. Always finding ways to have fun. All right. I'll sing along with us. We love this one. Call all hands to man the capstan.
See the cable running clear. Lead away the boats. We do steer rolling home across the sea, rolling home to near rolling home near God to be. Fare thee well, yes, Spanish maiden. It is time to bid adieu. Happy times we've spent together. Happy times we've spent with you. Rolling home, rolling home, rolling home across the sea. Rolling home, dear. Rolling home, near God to be. Round Cape Horn,
Oh boy.
one frosty morning, and the sails were full of snow. Tighten those sheets and pulling those halyards. Let her off and let her go. Rolling home, rolling home, course.
Oh, you know it.
Thank you for being with us tonight, folks. Have a great week.
Yes.
Molly and I are going sailing.
We'll tell you about it.
Many thousand miles behind us. Many thousand miles to go. The ocean lifts her waves to bring us to that well. Remember shore, rolling home, rolling home, rolling home across the sea, rolling home to Martha's Vineyard. Rolling home, near God to be.
Thanks for joining us.
Thank you for being with us again.
We'll see you next week. And we'll let you know how the sailing went.
That's right.
Oh, yeah.
Come all young sailormen, listen to me. I'll sing you a song of the fish in the sea. Blow, ye winds, westerly, westerly blow. We're bound to the southward, so steady she goes.